live stream. We have a special guest with us today, Justin Tubman from Future Tech. And to give you guys the short intro, Future Tech is an elite cybersecurity company specializing in providing blockchain organization services. They offer advanced penetration testing, smart contract audits, and way more, like CTO as a service. The company is committed to security and emphasizes community support. They provide transparent and thorough audit reports and much more, identifying vulnerabilities and offering suggestions for remediation. We talked about it before, but they're a team of 20, mostly located in the Western world, with a network of 1,500 professionals that they staff up and down depending on projects, with a lot of great clients and partnerships. And we're going to talk a lot about security and all of their other services. And Justin, without further ado, if you'd like to introduce yourself and Futures Tech, that'd be great.
Well, thank you, Ignacio, for having me. I'm I'm very I love talking about security because I worked for Homeland Security for quite a while, and that was where the beginning of my career started. And I worked there for 7 years, working on a variety of projects that have affected the entire world. So, if you've ever used your cell phone for a boarding pass, I developed the QR code for that. And that was the first introduction to cryptography that I ever learned. And ever since, I've been fascinated by it, and I believe in it very much so. But I also believe in the security that surrounds it.
So I love that you started this way because I think you're the first person that was in the U.S. government. There's a lot of drama right now surrounding the U.S. government versus cryptocurrency and blockchain. But people need to understand cryptocurrency gets its name from cryptography, which provides a great layer of security to anything, right? So I'd love to talk about how did that journey exactly happen from Homeland to now cryptocurrency and or cryptography and security at Future Tech.
Well, so I had a opportunity to work for Uber at some point in my career with the federal government, and I was going to leave Uber or leave the government to work with Uber. Then I met with Travis Kalanick in San Francisco, and he said, "Look, you need some more private sector experience." So I went to business school, and then I got into startups, and I wanted to uh, I wanted to be involved in the next, let's just call it unicorn. And the only way I saw that possible was through blockchain. And after finishing a consulting job that I did, I had about 6 months left on the contract where I was still being paid, and I just consumed everything blockchain. So I learned as much as I possibly could, got a couple of consulting jobs, and I'm still here working with Future Tech.
I love it. And maybe you can tell us a little bit more about Future Tech. We're an elite cybersecurity company, but I was looking at it. You guys offer also generic kind of development service for blockchain companies or blockchain projects, CTO as a service, NFT marketplace, digital raffle tech, which I thought was interesting. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about the services, what each means and what it entails.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we basically help founders and executives right now. We're focused on digital transformation for companies in from whatever their current initiatives are in the web space to get them on the blockchain and utilize all of that through product development projects. And we start off with a phase zero where we kind of gain all of uh, the knowledge that we need for the requirements that the project will entail, give them a quote, and then we move on to really being as experienced solutions integrators. We connect the right people to the right products and services to solve any of the challenges that they might be having. Um, Recently we've been working with company, the DeLorean Motor Company, and they're they've just relaunched their new car. We created a digital twin of the car, and that digital twin will be basically the keys to the car. You have to own the keys to the car to buy the car. So you just buy in a little bit, and then all of the sensors of the car will actually be sent to the NFT. So for any resale value, they'll understand how many times it's an electric vehicle. So anytime it's been charged, how many times it's bumped into something, how many times it's been serviced. All of those things are recorded by the NFT. So it's a really cool use case of
That's
how
incredible.
you can use an NFT for something that's not a Bored Ape.
Well, yeah, it's not a PFP use case, is it? It's something super. I mean, it's a real use case of in the real world with automotive. That's incredible. What a project you guys are involved in, and that's a dynamic NFT that serves as your keys. So you got to be able. And what type of wallet supports that?
So we have a hybrid wallet that we've created, and uh, it'll be used by that one. So
That's incredible.
it'll be the Alpha 5, or the I forget what they called it now.
So in this case, it's more instead of a blockchain company, it's more of a traditional automotive company that wants to use leverage blockchain in their business, right? And how does this basically this attracts a new audience, but it just creates a lot more of community and better data sharing with their clients, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you can think about how this replaces something like Carfax. Um, Carfax, where you want to go resell a car, you got to buy the Carfax, and the Carfax says, "Hey, this person's been in several accidents, and it's been serviced this many times, and this, that, and the other thing," but you don't know the internal stuff that may have happened. You don't know things about tire pressure and things like that, which may have affected the brakes. And all of those sensors are in the car right now. And as cars have evolved, this is the next generation type of evolvement.
That's incredible. I love that. And so, getting back to a bit more of the general future tech, how do you guys set yourself apart from other auditing or security firms?
Well, I wish our CIO was here, because he has us operate in a zero trust security framework where least privilege and least access are at the front of reducing our risk vectors. I mean, our CTO maintains a very vigilant DevOps environment that helps engineers remain creative while building clean code with layered security throughout. I mean, it is our CEO is a Marine Corps vet, and he demands this. So our devs are backed up by QA, and they validate the releases for the latest threats with the help of AI code scanning tools that mix with the best practice build, test, and release methodologies.
So that's very interesting. But what I'm finding even more interesting, it seems a lot of your senior team is either ex-government or ex-military and the U.S., which is now undergoing a lot of drama with the wider blockchain, sector or crypto sector with all this stuff that's going on with the SEC. I'd love to hear your personal view or with that. What do you feel it's happening? How do you think it affects the whole space? Do you think it's good, bad? Just your unfiltered opinion.
Well, I think that the SEC is sort of bad for crypto right now because of the current administration sort of taking shots at them, at all these companies, because Coinbase, for example, isn't exactly like, they're not perfect, but they also aren't that bad for the lay user. And I would say that there's certainly a need for regulation, and I love that there's a new bill that's trying to be passed in Washington. I'm currently speaking with a lobbyist for crypto or blockchain, and he's been extremely helpful with our team, and he's trying to help us make sure that we, avoid landmines.
I agree. We just need some clarity, and I think maybe Coinbase are the ones that fight for it for the entire space, and hopefully, get those guidelines in place because there's just been a lack of communication from the government, and they just need to put those rails in place. Otherwise, innovation goes to Europe, goes to UK, goes to Asia, and you don't want that brain drain to happen from the US at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. And my thoughts are just let it play out. There are the right people in place, in from my understanding, to make sure that we're all kind of going to be treated as a new form of currency. I mean, with USDC, and the introduction of that is going to be very interesting. Um, we'll see what happens.
Let's
But
see what
let it
happens.
play out.
Also, let's see how it plays out. I completely agree. Unfortunately, it's not as
But
fast as I would like it to be.
I know, but I'd say just always, like, keep in mind, just try and keep it in the fairway, and play within like what you think the rules will be, and you shall be fine. If you become nefarious, then you're going to get caught.
I could not agree. We're very aligned on that. That's the way that we've run our company as well. Is I mean, you guys are cybersecurity, so obviously you're already by the book because you are, there's a lot of bad actors in this space, so you guys are in charge of protecting a lot of companies and auditing things. But as on Bondex, we've been going out of our way to do everything by the book, to development first, listing later. And I completely agree with you. Just think about what the good, what would be done properly and by the book, and then you shall be fine. Because even if something changes later on, you can justify it, you can argue it, and you should be fine and stay away from being nefarious, shortcuts, or anything basically immoral. And I think a good guidance is also consumers, right? If this is something transparent and good for the consumer, that's also a good kind of yardstick of what you should be doing as a consumer company in blockchain or Web3 or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And to go back a little bit more to future tech, there's something that caught my eye, which is the CTO as a service. So when you guys do that, is it just one person that comes in, or is it or you're basically outsourcing the entire tech department or a whole project to future tech?
So what we do is we have a CTO that might service one or two companies, and we basically get them on track for perhaps like their startup, or they're needing funding and they don't currently have a CTO that understands blockchain. So that would help a company that's like raising funding, put them on the books to be able to answer any questions that their investors might have.
Okay, understood. So that's basically something that we love with this future of work stuff. That's fractional working and someone acting as
Yep.
CTO. That's very cool. Essentially, it's part of fractional work in that category.
We're also exploring like CIO as a service, and even CEO as a service. So there are times when people don't have the person that knows how to be a CEO, and that could be very helpful. So we have those people on staff because we all come from great backgrounds and have the business acumen that you might need to do that.
That's super interesting. And I think that's something that we're positioned to also kind of tackle as future of work, keeps rising. And the other one that caught my eye a lot was the digital raffle. How does the digital raffle work? How do you guys help companies with that?
So if you think about it, if you've ever been to a baseball game or something like that that has a 50-50 raffle, have you ever been to one, Ignacio?
I haven't been to one. Can you walk me through it as if?
So there's a baseball game going on, and there's a charity that they care for very much, and the baseball players will go out into the stands and collect money sometimes. If it's like a minor league game, in the like the major leagues, they'll do it at like a booth, but they collect money. You get a little raffle ticket, and at the end of the ball game, they pull the ticket that won the raffle. 50% of all of the money goes to the winner, and 50% goes to the charity. Now we decided to digitize that, so that you not only do you get the people that are in the stands or that care about the potentially winning $5,000, $10,000, then you can pull in people from outside of the stands. So, for example, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays did this, and I'm sorry, the Toronto Blue Jays did this. They digitized it, and all of their fans from outside started pouring in money. And these charities made even more money, and the winners made even more money, which was a great idea. Now, for us at Future Tech, we're doing it because we care about charities, and we care about our clients' charities, but we can do it, and we have it. So it's a very low cost thing for us to do, but we get a minor fee for just our overhead, and we get to give back to our charities.
That's fantastic. I love that. I love the mission of that, and I love creative ways of using blockchain for just overall good impact of the world. So I love that use case that you guys have come up with. And I love taking something that happens in the normal world, like you said in a baseball game, and then digitizing it and using again this wonderful technology for something great. That's fantastic. Great job.
And everyone gets paid, because if you happen to leave the game early, then you didn't know you won.
And that's also the beauty of it is, for us also, as a company, we're trying to design better incentive systems for hiring, right? And blockchain has this beautiful way of designing new incentive systems from what the relationships that used to have between a company and a user and a consumer, or someone in a raffle, someone that's attending a game. It doesn't matter. You can basically, these new type of logics and incentive systems you can create for the better, for everyone's better well-being and positive impact, which is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone needs to give back in some way, shape, or form, no matter what. And that's what Future Tech has in mind.
I love that. And yes, it's a new type of capitalism. And I love, guys, what you guys are doing is so interesting, from the DeLorean NFT, dynamic NFT, to digital raffles that give back and automate, charity payments. I mean, you guys are at the forefront of a lot of things. One of the best consulting companies we've talked to so far. I love, just in your opinion, we've touched on a lot of subjects. Currently everyone's it's a crypto winter, this and that. We like to ask as the last question to our, people we interview, what do you think about the current conditions? What would you say to people that want to get involved professionally in the Web3 space now?
I would say just build, and I call, everyone's calling it biddlers, because before everyone's hodlers, but do both actually, and build more, be more innovative, and take take your company into Web3 now, because Web3 is something that's I remember when people were buying their block, like Pizza Hut or something, like had to buy their Instagram handle, and because they just missed the boat on that. And that's Web 2, but this is Web 3, and now you're gonna lose if you do not take this to the next level.
I love that, and I completely agree. That's great advice. So to everyone's watching, whether you're a company owner, a founder, or a builder, get into Web3 now. Justin, I appreciate your time, and thank you to all the abundance that tuned in. Have a fantastic weekend. And Justin, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And everyone,
Thank you,
go check out
Ignacio.
Future Tech.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
please
everyone.
come. We are futuretech.com.
Perfect.